both looking to get their crews on the straight and narrow, down the tracks and between the booms here.
Go.
In this heat of the Temple Challenge Cup that gets underway. And Tom, we've got two lightweight crews, probably, as we were saying earlier, the two best lightweight crews from their respective programs and countries here going head to head.
Yeah, this is a transatlantic battle if ever I saw one, and as you rightly point out, Camilla, it is the lightweights in action, and I think what we're really looking out for here is battle of the technique. These guys are weight capped, they're all going to be roughly the same weight, so their power output should be the same. It's all about how they technically handle this course, which is famous, of course, for being a complex, tricky, sometimes unforgiving piece of water. So we'll see whether Cambridge, with their sort of slight home advantage, can triumph over the Tigers from Princeton.
Well, they seem to have got a good start there, and we're looking at Princeton here, who trail ever so slightly. This Princeton crew, part of a huge program that has, in fact, overperformed, I would say, Tom, in the last, few months of the season.
Yeah, they've had a wonderful year, and their ambush of Tigers here at Henley Royal Regatta is one that's well deserved after a phenomenal domestic season, particularly this lightweight 8, of course, winning the IRA National Championships. So they are probably the fastest lightweight 8 in America, up against what the best of Britain has to offer, right? This Cambridge crew swept all before them, beating Oxford in the lightweight boat race series. So, and at the moment, almost impossible to separate the two boats.
Yeah, really close here, and exactly what you'd expect from lightweight racing, Tom. So I guess it would be good for the viewers to know, we've talked a little bit about lightweights here. There's no lightweight events here at Henley Royal Regatta. This is an open category in the Temple Challenge Cup for student men, but both of these programs specialise in lightweight rowing. What does that mean? What do these athletes have to do in order to sort of meet that criteria?
So they have to be at a certain weight, and I think it's around 73 kilograms, something like that. They have to be sort of a crew average of that weight, with a cap at a certain weight as well per individual. That basically means they have to row really, really well. They have to be as efficient as they possibly can throughout the stroke to ensure that they're competitive with their heavyweight counterparts. But at the moment, this is a true lightweight contest.
Well, it was Cambridge University on the left-hand side of your picture in that very famous Cambridge blue that's almost green, I would say, there on that left-hand side. But they have just been overturned by the Princeton University crew here. This Princeton crew on screen. We can see Nicholas Orono in the stroke seat there for Princeton. First place in a course record in the youth single at the head of the Charles back in 2019, so a great person to set that rhythm leading out in the stroke seat. And that rhythm in this sort of centre part of the course, once they've come off the end of the island, they sort of sprint off the end of the island and then they settle into a racing rhythm. 2,112 metres, a long way to go, and it will take most of these crews near on 7 minutes to complete that.
Yeah, the race rhythm is absolutely critical at Henley, because at the beginning component of the race you have the island, you have sort of that initial burst of adrenaline, then you come out into what is fairly barren landscape. The bank moves away from you, the booms seem to close in, and it means that that rhythm, that insular feeling that you have in the boat is so important in that sort of middle thousand. At the moment, Princeton looked to have made the better of sort of that second quartile.
That was a wonderful shot there as Princeton came past us here on the Forley box. You could see the canvas of the boat, of that sort of stern end behind the cox, which is nearest to us, had a great tiger print on it. And if you're not familiar, Princeton, they're called the Tigers. It's their sort of symbol, their emblem, and they're the black and orange blaze. And you can just about see that tiger stripe canvas there behind Cox Adam Casler. And they are driving ahead now. Still overlap for Cambridge here. We talked a bit about Cambridge's pedigree in the lightweight boat races that took place earlier in the year, back in March, but currently being beaten out by the best of America. Two of those athletes in the middle there, you can see in slightly different lycras there, Tom. They're in yellow, the rest are in that Cambridge blue. What does that mean?
The guys in the Cambridge blue, that duck egg distinctive sort of shade, means that they've got full blue. They have rowed in a boat race or equivalent at their university. The guys in the yellow lycras means that they've rowed at reserve level, so they're Goldie athletes. I think this is mainly the lightweight boat race crew, but a couple of guys from the Goldie ISIS race this year. So they are Cameron McKenzie and Orlando Morley in the yellow lycras. So they're going to be two additions to this crew. This isn't the full lightweight crew that won the boat race, but at the moment it's looking like Cambridge have a lot to do.
I think they're coming coming back though here, Tom. There's over there on the right-hand side of the picture, and I think a little bit of a drive here from the Cambridge crew. This is the part of the course. We talked about that barren land where the bank's quite far away. This is now where you're going to start to hear the spectators, hear the fans as you're coming in to the closing stages, and you can see the pain on the faces there of these athletes. Big shouts here in the 5 seat. That's Cameron McKenzie, we just talked about, the information engineering student at the University of Cambridge. A double lightweight boat race contender, so much experience in the middle of that crew, but they're going to need it here to try and close back on Princeton.
Yeah, they're running out of water here, Cambridge. I think Princeton jumped out to that half-length lead and sort of maintained it. Half-length in an 8. It's not that long, to be honest. It's not insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination, as you rightly point out, Camilla. As they move into sort of that area where the roar of the stewards will catch them, it will lift them home. It's up to Cambridge now to see if they've got a response. But one thing I would point out about lightweights, they have a fierce in-closing sprint.
They really do. So we'll have to wait and see if Cambridge have that in the bag. But at the moment, it's still the Princeton University A crew here that's not in shot at the moment, but Cambridge University trailing currently. Princeton have brought a huge number of athletes here to race on the Thames. 42 athletes in Princeton colours this week, representing the Tigers. A huge contingent. Overall, 64 Princeton athletes have raced across Henley Women's Regatta, Henley Royal Regatta, and it looks like, as you hear the cheers from the crowds, they're going to see another day here in this Temple Challenge Cup event.
Yeah, that's a well-executed road from Princeton. They just attritionally moved out on Cambridge, didn't do anything dramatic, just rode their race, and it looks like they're going to triumph by about a length here.
So the national champions from Princeton are going to win out from the boat race winners from Cambridge University. This Princeton crew lacking a few of their top talents as well. 3 guys missing from that top crew that raced at the national championship. So